Hello internet people, this is Micah with Capture King Gaming and I'm here to bring you a walkthrough of What Remains of Edith Finch, an adventure game that was released in 2017. It's a short game, clocking in at under 2 hours. The game's going to be split into 5 videos, and full transparency, this commentary is being done in post, but I'll make sure not to spoil any later reveals and try to act as if it's my first time playing. Okay, so for the subsequent videos, I'm not going to show the whole loading time, but for the initial video, I think for each video game, I'll show it. Just getting used to the controls. I was trying to see if I can move too, but that's just zooming in.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house. I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
I really like the floating words and that it also shows you where to go.
Key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
So, I looked at the trophies beforehand and I kind of did some few extra things to get the trophies. I tried to get them all in one go. So I tried to go through this path twice. So I went once through the bottom and you'll see me
The truth is,
go through the top.
even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do.
So right here I get to the point where it counts as going through the bottom, and I cut the section where I have to walk back because nothing else happens. But at least this part has one little extra piece of audio, so I kept this section.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints. house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
The house looks structurally unstable. I have no idea how that thing is still
As a child,
standing.
the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
So basically this opening segment, there are these peepholes you can look through. It gives you a little bit of extra audio. So I did each of them, at least the ones I can get to immediately.
The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother.
And yes, there is also a trophy for it. So that is my initial goal, but I didn't know it gives you audio, so that's pretty cool. Gives you a little extra look into the world.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library. After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I got all the peepholes out of
Molly
the way.
always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Because I wasn't sure if this is a game where you could revisit areas or if it's sealed off once you progress. So I was like, let me get the peepholes out of the way, and then I can just focus on going straight to the story.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Going through this, I realized I missed some of these interactions.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait. As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of. My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
His family is sounding extremely tragic. I'm really upset I missed interacting with those packing peanuts.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
So now I'm just exploring the house a bit. It's partially because I'm trying to see what else there is to interact with, because there are these optional, I don't know if you want to say like audio files, but also because I didn't know exactly where to go.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Instead of a family, there were just memories of one. After Louis started working at the cannery, we all got pretty sick of salmon. Except our cat, Molly. Only one restaurant would deliver to our house. We had Chinese a lot.
I love that soy sauce packet is identical to the one that is now in my cabinet. So there's such a realism. I mean, most of this is realistic in terms of design, but that was cool.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
That is
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night.
I'm not sure what's going on here. I feel like there's some child abuse going on in this home.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
This just became the Animorphs video game I've always wanted.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
I love the little touch of the cat purring every now and again. You can actually feel the vibration.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl.
This child is
First, all I heard
a
was
shaman.
the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
So there's a trophy in this section to get
Rabbits.
2 rabbits and only take 2 swoops to catch them. So that's what I'm gonna go for. Even though the aiming is kind of hard because it's kind of restricted. You can really only aim up or down kind of. And you don't know exactly where you're swooping for when you press
I
R2.
imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
Little
I
girl's
swallowed
pretty
him up,
violent.
and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit.
So I got 1 with 1 swoop. Let's try to get the second one. Try to dodge me in these trees. It's not gonna happen, man. And I missed. Okay, that's awesome. Alright, no trophy for me this time. Still gonna die. This is not bloodlust. This is just nature, right?
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
How kind of... Let's this child on? Oh, it's one of those land sharks I hear about all the time. I don't know where in America this takes place. I'm assuming either the northeast or the northwest. But yeah.
I rolled off a cliff
Land
and
sharks are
into the
dangerous.
ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
They didn't even have TV back then, so she's pretty well informed for a child that lived in the, when is this, the 1920s? Or 1930s, I guess? I don't know if they had TV back then, but I didn't see a TV, so she was just reading up on all this stuff.
Off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
It's very disturbing. I don't think I like this. I enjoy it, but it's also disturbing. Follow that blood trail, man. I'm just a shark.
I grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Okay. It's a stealth octopus squid monster.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Does it only have one tentacle? Because that's weird. Oh yeah, so this part is a trophy to let this guy finish drinking, singing his song. So I let him sing for a while. If you want, you can skip ahead. But I included it just in case somebody wanted to enjoy it. should have never finished that song. Should have done like a musical filibuster. It just took forever. Maybe I would have got bored and left him alone.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Is that how toilets work? I don't like that. I don't like this. It's too
I
accessible.
got closer and closer.
I feel very vulnerable to any kind of sea monster right now.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
This little girl is a serial killer. I want everyone to know that right now. Children don't write things like that. Not normal children. Okay. Anyways, that was part 1 of What Remains of
I'm
Edith
not sure
Finch.
if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
And please stay tuned for part 2. And as I will choose to make as my saying, have some class, meaning leave a comment, like, and share, subscribe. This is Capture King Gaming, signing off.